From the John C. Hench Production Arts Studios in Peoria, Illinois, VideoMax Limited presents Midstate Magazine with your hosts, Kayla Neitz and Kyle Peck. The news with Aaron Morden and Danielle Heimski, featuring your Midstate reporting team. Sports with Katrina Baumgartner. Get Real with Nikki Garabrandt. Stephanie Robbins is on the beat. State of the Arts with Brooke James. Rebecca Williams is in the spotlight. Anna Tassi takes us about town. And About Crew with Noel Mefford. And now, from America's friendliest city, Midstate Magazine. Take it away, kids.
Good evening and welcome to Midstate Magazine. I'm your host, Kyle Peck.
And I'm Kayla Neitz. Welcome back.
So I found a very interesting article today. I apparently found out that a former flight attendant by the name of Sean Kathleen created a Facebook page called Passenger Shaming, which basically is a Facebook page that has a bunch of photos of people behaving badly on planes.
Okay, so is it supposed to be like a funny thing, or are people kind of upset about it?
People are this person in particular is just very upset about it. She's taken photos from as various as finding diapers inside seats to finding wigs and all of that stuff, and even people going shirtless.
So it's not so much, is it she's taking pictures of the people themselves or things they leave behind?
Things, well, a little bit of both. Things people leave behind, things people that, maybe they just like leave their, have their like feet up on the seat or like on the aisle window.
I don't know, I think that's kind of funny. Were any of the pictures pretty funny?
Yeah, some of them are pretty funny, some of them are pretty gross.
What were some of the ones that you saw?
Dirty diapers and seat pockets. Apparently a child pooped right next to a passenger seat.
Oh my gosh, that's disgusting.
And it's just a little disgusting.
Yeah, I don't know, I think that's kind of funny, but I guess that makes me want to be a little bit more wary when I go on the next airplane, making sure no one's taking pictures of me. Because people fall asleep all the time on airplanes. So you never know what kind of crazy position you're going to be caught in. But
absolutely.
It's time to check in with the news team, so we'll go to that.
Good evening. Welcome to Midstate Magazine. I'm Aaron Morden.
And I'm Danielle Heimski. Let's take a look at the news.
It may only be September, but stores everywhere are preparing for what's expected to be a big season for sales. In preparation for the holidays, Kohl's, Walmart, and Target are just some of the stores announcing seasonal hiring in anticipation of the rush. Kohl's plans to hire more than 67,000 seasonal employees nationwide. Walmart is expected to hire 60,000 seasonal employees this year, almost a 10% increase from last year. Target is hiring 70,000 seasonal workers, the same number as last year. Of that, stores nationwide are expected to see about 50,000 employees.
A group of tough guys showed their soft side today to help out people in need. About 300 bikers paraded through the streets of Peoria in the 24th annual Benefit Ride Saturday. The money goes to Southside Office of Concerns and Pekin's Christian Civic Outreach Center. Riders hope the event will shed some light on all the good they do for the community. That's why we've been doing it for 24 years, and we're in coalition of many motorcycle organizations, and we're always the first person to step up to bat to help people in the community in any way we can, said Matt Clemens. Their goal this year was to top last year's earnings of $20,000.
Students have been in the classroom for about a month now, and their curriculum continues to be the subject of some controversy. Dr. Duke Pesta teaches English at the University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh. He recently spoke at Peoria's Gateway building about the dangers of Common Core. It's a message he has delivered more than 200 times. According to corestandards.org, Common Core is an outline of what students should know when they complete each grade level, but the concept has left some parents on the fence.
A community is doing everything they can to give back to the family of a man from Morton who passed away back in August. Beloved teacher Joel Stanfield died from a heart-related illness at the age of 35. The third-grade teacher at Lincoln Elementary School also coached varsity men's tennis on Saturday. The hair salon, Sheer Perfection, paired together with numerous businesses to offer free services for donations to the Stanfield family. Now let's go to Katrina for sports.
Thanks, Danielle. In one of the craziest games played this high school football season that included 14 lead changes, 18 touchdowns scored, 116 combined score, and a blackout in the fourth quarter, Canton beat Pekin 60-56. Throughout the entire game, both teams were able to move the ball down the field and score. With the back and forth play, Canton's head coach knew the winning team could need to come up with some defensive stops. And that's exactly what his defense did before the blackout. In the fourth quarter, the entire stadium went dark due to the lights being turned off. All of the lights were scheduled to turn off at 10:30 because of a charity event the school was hosting for the Easter Seals. The delay lasted 30 minutes. After the delay, the Canton defense intercepted a pass to seal the game. Reigning Heisman Trophy winner Jameis Winston was suspended to play against the Clemson Tigers. Winston was suspended for using vulgar language outside the FSU's on-campus student union. The phrase was profane and sexually explicit and mimicked a popular video on the internet. Winston was originally going to be suspended for only the first half of the game, but was changed to a full game the Friday before the game. Coach Jimbo Fisher believes that the suspension really hit home since Winston was on the sidelines the entire time, encouraging backup quarterback Sean McGuire and the rest of the team. The Seminoles won the game 23-17 in overtime and remained #1 in the AP poll. Every Wednesday, the Peoria Park District Board of Trustees holds their town meetings. This week's meeting will be a little crowded since the board is supposed to hear reasons to cut the funds for Peoria's golf courses. Most people are for the budget cuts since the golf courses are having an annual $1 million deficit added to their park district budget. If the cuts are to be made, this would cause one or two of the district's courses. People who are against the budget cuts continue to argue that the district shouldn't close their favorite course. In recent years, the district was continually bumped up the prices of course passes every year since 2011 in an attempt to earn money. Since 2011, the annual price of a course has gone up 70%. In the last year alone, it has gone up 43%. That's all for sports. Back to you, Danielle.
Thanks, Katrina. A long line of Chick-fil-A customers got their fill of free food and were left with simple instructions: pay it forward. A man in a Chick-fil-A drive-thru in Abilene, Texas, handed over $1,000 to pay for his meal. The change was for those behind him in line. This random but generous act would help serve 88 people before it ran out. When a worker asked for the man why he was footing the bill for so many, he replied, "Mondays are so rough. I just want to help everyone have a good day." You know, I think that's an important lesson we can all learn. It's important to pay it forward and help those around you.
Definitely. Well, that wraps up Midstate for the week. I'm Katrina Baumgartner.
I'm Aaron Morden.
And I'm Dil Haimski. Have a great night and be sure to join us next week. Thank you, news team. All right, I recently read a story about in Mississippi, they give out hunting licenses where you can go and try to get alligators, basically. And during the time that the hunting season is open, it's a really short period of time, but it's basically just to try to control the population of the alligators and things like that. But one of the people caught a 792-pound alligator, and it was 13 feet and 5 inches long.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah, it was. You should have seen the picture. It was ginormous. I've never seen anything like it, except for, I think I saw the world's biggest alligator, something like that. But it was ginormous, and I don't know if have you ever seen one in real life or just seen pictures? Not
one in real life that big, no.
Okay.
Just like small ones.
Yeah, I was really amazed because the only one I've ever seen in real life is when my dad actually caught one when I was younger. And we ended up eating it. It tasted just like chicken. Not that that matters, because it just reminded me because we just saw something about Chick-fil-A. But it was really interesting to see. So let's go to About Town, where Anna Tassi takes us to a place with more than one attraction.
For more than 40 years, Landmark Recreation Center has provided the Peoria community with a variety of activities under one roof. After the recession hit, the Landmark Management Board decided to open a late-night bar and grill in their center. As a result, Bullpen Bar and Grill was built with the intention of providing customers of all ages a stress-free zone with fun events. Another one of the facility's hotspots is Landmark Lanes, the bowling alley inside of the Recreation Center. Manager Haley Jepson explains that there are plenty of reasons why picking Landmark is always a great choice.
I think we have a lot to offer here. We have the bowling center, we have the health club, the movie theater, the sports bar if you're over 21. We have the gaming machines in there. We have an arcade up here. We offer banquet facilities. We host a lot of company parties for different businesses.
Jepson also mentions that there are many offers worth taking advantage of for a fun night.
College night is on Thursday nights. Starts at 9 o'clock and goes till 12:30. It's $2 per game per person, $1 for shoe rental. And it's probably our best deal, one of our best deals, I would say, of the week. You know, people can bowl a lot of games for real cheap. We have a lot of drink specials that night, especially, you know, for college students, so to fit their budget.
For more information about hours and prices, visit landmarkrec.com. Landmark Recreation Center has a variety of fun options for all, so you choose your favorite. From Midstate Magazine, I'm Anna Tassi.
Thanks, Anna. That looks like a great place to go on the weekends.
Yeah, it does.
Kyle, do you like hot dogs or foods like that? Hot dogs, burgers?
Yeah.
Well, I just heard of a new place called Gene and Jude's. It's a hot dog stand, and it just got put on the map by Governor Pat Quinn.
Okay.
He goes there all the time. It's a really great hot dog place. I'm personally definitely going to try it out because hot dogs are one of my favorite things to eat.
Yeah.
But it's called Gene and Jude's. I believe it's in River Grove, which is a suburb of Chicago. It's in the area of right around Chicago area.
Okay. So then, what makes this hot dog station more unique than others?
They didn't say anything really specific or really unique or special about it. They just said that it's a really classic hot dog, because Chicago is so famous for their hot dogs with the mustard and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But, I don't know. Maybe it's the bun. I'd have to look more into it, but it looks very run down. So I have a feeling it's a pretty vintage place. It has been open since 1946.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's just been around so long. It's finally been discovered by, a person of prominence, Governor Pat Quinn or something like that, but I'm definitely going to be trying it out. Have you been hearing of any new food places lately?
Not any in particular, no. Unfortunately, I'm just, I haven't had the time to visit any of the other foods because I've been so busy.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. One of my favorite things to eat is very classic foods like hot dogs and hamburgers, but we'll get a little bit back to that later.
All right, let's check in with Nikki to see one of the latest movies on Get Real.
Hi, I'm Nikki Gerbrandt, and welcome back to Get Real. The latest young adult novel to find its way onto the big screen was released last weekend, and it did not disappoint. That's right, this week we look at The Maze Runner, starring Dylan O'Brien and Amel Amin. Stop me if you've heard this one before. It's a post-apocalyptic world where children are put in an experimental environment controlled by depraved adults. The Hunger Games? Divergent? No, this dystopian picture is The Maze Runner, based on the James Dashner novel by the same name. This time the children are put in a glade surrounded by a huge maze that changes shape each night, and they must find a way out. But the way out is fraught with life-threatening peril. It may be youth fiction, but director Wes Ball isn't making this a kids movie.
We're trying to go dark, we're trying to go edgy, we're trying to scare kids, we're trying to tackle really serious subjects, seeing young people act like adults because they're forced to.
Destined to be a business school metaphor someday, a newcomer to the Glade, Thomas, ends up splitting the well-organized and coherent group of boys into two factions. Those who want to maintain the status quo and live in peace but imprisoned, and those who would rather risk their lives in the hope of gaining their freedom. Like real life, the greater challenge may be what lies beyond the maze. The young cast of mostly unknowns have great on-screen chemistry and convey a believable range of emotions that draw you into the action.
I feel like I just hit the jackpot in terms of cast. I mean, it's my kind of dream that maybe in 5 or 10 years we're gonna look back on this movie and see all these stars.
The Maze Runner is a hit at the box office, earning an estimated $32.5 million on its opening weekend. The next installment in the series, The Scorched Trials, is already in the works and slated to be released September 18th, 2015. That's all for Get Real. Be sure to catch us next time. I'm Nikki Gerbrandt.
Thank you, Nikki. I'll be sure to be checking that movie out.
Yeah,
Kyle,
definitely.
you were telling me a little bit about a reporter, speaking of entertainment, just about a reporter on live TV, right?
Yeah, there's a person named Charlotte Green who was an Alaskan reporter and TV news anchor at this Alaskan TV station, who apparently used inappropriate language and decided to quit live on TV to become a marijuana activist.
Wow. So he actually quit while he was
she actually
filming.
quit.
She quit, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. So then what is she doing now?
She's a marijuana activist. She's basically what she's doing now is her last report was talking about the Cannabis Alaskan Club, and now she's devoting all of her resources to legalize pot in Alaska.
And there is a lot of controversy about that right now. We've got some medical marijuana available in a lot of the states, but it's a big controversy about whether or not they're going to make it recreational use only.
Exactly.
But it is time to check in with Griffin on Street Team, so let's check out that.
Hey, it's Griffin again, and with fall in full swing, we're going to ask some people some fall trivia questions. What is the first day of fall called?
I have no idea.
I don't know. Do you know?
Monday? I don't know.
The answer is autumnal equinox.
Okay.
What does the equinox mean in terms of daylight and nighttime?
Longest day, shortest night?
There's less daylight and more nighttime? I don't know. Isn't it like there's like an equal something? Something's equal.
Yeah.
Like the hours or something like that?
Yep.
I have no idea.
Okay, the answer is equal. There's an equal time of day and night at the equinox.
Oh.
If autumn starts in September in the northern hemisphere, When does it begin in the southern hemisphere?
September.
So everything in the southern hemisphere is opposite of the northern hemisphere. So think
They don't
about.
call it fall though?
Our springtime.
I'll give you a hint. It's a month in spring.
February. March.
Yep. March.
March?
Yep.
March.
There you go. What is the name for the full moon that occurs closest to the autumnal equinox?
Harvest?
Yes. Correct. Harvest moon.
Harvest moon.
Correct. For Midstate Magazine, I'm Griffin Sassano.
Thanks, Griffin. Did you know any of those answers?
I actually didn't know any of them. I was thinking about it, like, I mean, I had answers in my head, but then every
Right.
time they revealed the answer, it wasn't right. So
Yeah, I didn't
know any of them.
I didn't know any of them at all.
Right. But I have a question for you. Do you ever have a problem with procrastination, putting things off too long?
Actually, no. I try and make sure I plan things ahead of time and get homework done, but sometimes that happens.
Okay, well then I would say that you're definitely in the smaller percentile. Would you agree that I think most people have a problem with procrastination?
Yes.
They put things off way too long. That's how I am. I put things off to the very last second. And I try to actually convince myself that I work better that way. I work better under the pressure. It's not
Yeah.
true. It just stresses me out. But I was reading an article, and some of the best ways that you can kind of counter procrastination is setting timers and breaking things up into very small jobs.
Okay.
So let's say you have a really, really big project coming up. You don't know where to start. You're overwhelmed. It's due in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, something like that. What you want to do is just make one task every single day. So today I'm going to just start the document. The next day I'm going to start the imagery. The next day I'm going to start my visual aid. You know what I mean?
Right.
So by breaking it up into small portions, you can kind of make it more manageable for yourself. And then setting timers is the other thing. If you set a timer on your phone, like I have 30 minutes to do this, then it kind of puts pressure on to make sure you're focused the entire time. So that I've never heard of that before. So I think I'll
that's
try
really
those,
interesting.
implement those into my next projects. Let's check in with Brooke to see who our special guest is on State of the Arts.
Hello, and welcome to State of the Arts. I'm your host, Brooke James. Today we're excited to welcome Matthew Harris, aka Maris, a DJ at the radio station 105.7 The X Rocks. He hosts the show Maris Till Midnight. Welcome to the show, Maris.
Happy to be here.
So have you always been in radio?
Yes, that's been the goal. I wasn't sure once I got to Bradley, but...
so you're an alumni?
Yes, I am. Proud 09. Yeah, 09.
Back when we were the Braves.
Yeah.
Still not the Gargoyles.
No, I'm still upset about the Gargoyles, but yeah, I did do Midstate Magazine, so it's good to be back in studio. But yeah, radio, just stuck with it.
Yeah? You preferred that over TV? Did you always know that you wanted that?
Considering that I'm from a radio family, my dad's been in radio his whole life, and then being around that environment, it's been fun. It's been awesome to see. Wanted to try it for myself, got an opportunity to do it here, and then, you know, when everybody's telling you got a great voice for radio, you kind of have to see if you like it, and I absolutely love it. So.
Did you work with The Edge when you were on campus here?
Yes, I did 3 years with The Edge. I hosted a horrible show. It started off as an R&B show.
Okay.
I thought I was real smooth. But then I switched over to what I liked, which was rock music and hip-hop.
Okay, there you go. At the Edge, you switched over to that?
Yeah, at the Edge,
okay.
yeah. Changed up, because you can do whatever over there.
So did you jump on to 105.7 right after college then?
I got an internship my junior year, that January, and have been with them ever since. They hired me at the end of that summer in August and started on air that next January. So I've been on air for 5 years now.
Wow.
Been full-time on air for 4.5, hosting Maris Till Midnight, and it's been amazing. I'm #1 and #2 in my key demographics.
There you go. You're doing something right.
Yes. It was really rough at first, but you know, you live and learn as you move along. Yeah.
What's your favorite part about hosting the show?
Honestly, talking to yourself for 5 hours sucks. It's really bad, but when you get to interact with the listeners via the text line or over the phone or in person, the in-person appearances are always the best. I love talking to the listeners. We just sit and talk about music all the time, and it's just awesome being in front of a crowd entertaining people.
So it's from midnight to 5 a.m.?
It's from 7 to midnight. Yeah.
7 to midnight. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can't be as candid as you would after midnight. Isn't there rules about that?
Well, the FCC is a lot more lenient after 10, but there's still things you shouldn't say.
Yeah.
You can say things on accident, but I still don't. I don't venture that far. There's a lot of ways to work around it.
Okay.
You just got to be creative with it.
And I'm sure you've picked up things over the years too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You almost let something slip, and then you just kind of slur it out until you figure out what words you want to say, and you are very happy you didn't get fired to pay an FCC fine.
Yeah, I believe it. Does the radio station pay the fines, or do you pay the fines?
Well, you get fired, and then your company has to pay the fine. So Cumulus Media would be taking that one on.
Okay.
It'd be hard to find work after that.
And you brought some pictures for us, right?
I did bring some pictures. Let's see what pops up first here. There we go.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, this is the events we're talking about where we're hanging out with our street team, and a little girl came out to the Peoria Chiefs game. That's actually our last game of the season, and we just hung out with people, entertained them while they were standing in line, played music, and here we are at a festival in LaSalle, Peru. This is a local band, a Terra Tale. They were just in town for our Battle of the Bands, came in second place. It's a little unfortunate, but another great group of guys to hang out with there. And this one's one of my favorites. We're at Cruisin's on Farmington Road. Trapped was in town, and you know when you're hosting something locally at home, it just feels good to be in that bar. So it's just a great experience getting in front of people, seeing alumni, and even seeing the young Bradley kids around campus.
So for events like that last picture that you showed, you're just the MC, or what?
For that one, I was the MC. For other events that we do actually put on and bring in the talent. So we have to book the venue, book the bands, book the lighting, stage, and everything else. And that's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of organization.
Yeah.
It's not all fun and games.
And it's not all me, thankfully. But it is something that we do, evolving in radio, as we're not just focusing on playing music or talking all the time. We're doing these live events, we're doing concerts, we're doing pretty much everything to stay on top of the ball so that we're still relevant.
And again, that's stuff that you pick up in the industry. That's not probably taught.
I will say
experience.
Bradley did a great job teaching me how to talk to people, how to be a little bit of a manager. But a lot of it is on the fly. I'm also the promotions director within our radio group, and I didn't study marketing, I didn't study PR, it was all radio TV. So it was on the fly learning, and now I think I've perfected it, but it's, you know, there's still bumps in the road, and you just have to learn from what you do.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good mindset.
Yeah.
So how do people find out where you're going to be or what's coming up for
our
you?
Our website, 1057thexrocks.com, or listen to Marriage Till Midnight, 7 to midnight every week, or just listen to 1057 on your dial. Hopefully you already have it keyed in on your car.
I have a 96 Camry, so my buttons don't work
anymore. Okay, we can fix that.
But I'll just leave it on the station.
Yeah, there's an app. You can download iHeartRadio or anything else.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming in. And that's all the time we have for this week. Join us next week to see more talent from around the Peoria area. For State of the Arts, I'm Brooke Janes.
Thank you, Brooke. That was very interesting. Kyle, do you ever listen to 105.7?
Here and there. I mean, I listen to a bunch of different stations in Peoria, but I only listen to radio when I'm driving around in my car.
Sure. Well, speaking of entertainment and radio stations, things like that, this past weekend was the 40th season kickoff to Saturday Night Live.
Really?
Yeah, so I think I'll be kind of rejoining watching that with some people because I haven't watched it in a really long time.
Yeah, I haven't watched it that much either, but now I'm very interested in how far they've progressed since the very early days.
Sure, I hope it would be cool to see if they did like a flashback to one of their first episodes to where they're at today. But you said that you found an interesting story about a new discovery.
Yes, scientists apparently discovered a new dinosaur species called the Rhinorex chondropus, otherwise known as the Big Nose.
Okay.
Or King Nose, I'm sorry. So this 75-million-year-old dinosaur was found in Boot Cliffs, Utah back in the 90s, but it was apparently completely forgotten until other scientists put the pieces back together.
Okay.
So let me give you an image. This King Nose has the biggest nose of any dinosaur. Nobody knows why, but apparently it's used for mating preferences.
Wow.
It's an herbivore. It's 30 feet wide, and it's 8,500 pounds.
Wow, that is very interesting. Is there any way that you can see that?
Not really.
Is it going to be put into some type of museum or anything like that?
I don't know. I actually
That'll be
haven't thought that
interesting to find out then.
Do you have any interest in dinosaurs at all?
Not particularly, but I do find it interesting to see them in the museums when they're all put together, and the archaeologists have really done all the work to just put the entire specimen together. So I do find that interesting. But it is nearing the beginning of, well, it's already the beginning of fall, as we learned in our previous little segment. But I also heard about a story. There's a couple people who have been infected with West Nile in northern Illinois. And we actually had 2 deaths recently, which is really a shame, of course, because you don't see that around too much anymore.
No.
And basically what they were saying is you still have to be careful. You still have to apply the mosquito spray and everything like that until the very first, hard freeze or the very first frost.
Okay.
So of course we're not really there yet. We haven't had our first frost, so it's just kind of a warning to people who are outside a lot, because you got to still keep that mosquito spray on. It's getting chillier outside, but it's not. We're not there yet.
Yeah, not yet, but I actually haven't been bitten by mosquitoes very much.
Really?
Yeah. I have a story where my dad and I drove from California all the way to Nebraska, and we had dinner one time in a tent. And during the entire process, my dad, with a long sleeve shirt and long pants, he got 25 mosquito bites.
Oh my goodness!
And I'm wearing gym shorts and a gym shirt, and I got
you didn't
none.
get any?
I don't know how. Maybe it's because of my blood. Maybe it's because people don't
it
like
has something to do with it. I'm telling you.
Maybe it's because I eat too much garlic. Who knows?
I don't know, but I'm telling you, it has something to do with somebody's blood compared to another person's blood, because I am always spraying mosquito spray, and I'm telling you what, there's been times where, like the 4th of July especially, I'm outside the entire time, we're watching the fireworks. I am covered from head to toe. I mean, I look like I have leprosy at this point. And my friend is sitting next to me. She hasn't sprayed anything on, and she doesn't have a single mosquito bite.
Really?
Yeah, so I really don't understand it.
Yes, I'm not the only one.
You're not the only one. You're not like some, strange thing, but you are lucky, apparently, because...
Yeah. I feel very sorry that you have to get a lot of mosquito bites. Even for a lot of people. They should have my skin.
I like to do that little strategy where you put the X on it. Have you ever done that?
No.
Okay, well, supposedly if you put an X on your mosquito bites with your nail, it helps the itch. I don't know how much it really helps.
Okay,
but it's interesting.
I had never heard of that before, but yeah.
But so yeah, as the fall is progressing and it's getting chillier, just wait until the first frost to hold off on the mosquito spray. Except for you, of course, because you don't need the mosquito spray apparently.
Yeah.
But for everybody else out there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still afraid of mosquitoes. I just wipe them off, and because I feel like I feel like I'm going to actually have a mosquito bite, but then I actually don't.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting to figure out what really goes into that in terms of blood type versus blood type. You know what I mean?
Right.
But in terms of health and things like that, I've been hearing a lot of things in the news. I actually heard a very interesting story about a woman who did a research project or study or whatever. And what she said was, over the course of 10 years or 20 years, if a woman's skirt size goes up every 10 years, a full size, then you could be at higher risk for breast cancer.
What?
And I didn't get to finish, so maybe I'll have to bring that back up next week when we do our next episode, because I didn't get to finish reading the article, but it was really interesting to me because I don't know exactly how that correlates, but it has something to do with weight gain. So if you're gaining weight significantly every 10 years, then you could be related to breast cancer. So.
All right. Well, that's all from Midstate Magazine for the week. I'm your host, Kyle Peck.
And I'm Kayla Neitz. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week.